Hello, my name is Bob Junkie, and I'm the founder and CEO of Adventace. I'm also the designer of the Adventace Sales Management System, which, as you'll see, is where methodology meets automation. I'd like to welcome you to an overview of our award-winning, comprehensive, and native Salesforce application. Our objective is to provide you with SMS's value proposition, and we'll do that by providing the key functions and the corresponding benefits it gives to sales executives, sales managers, and salespeople. We say where methodology meets automation because we've automated essential functions for sales executives, sales managers, and salespeople so that SMS works the way people think and operate. As we'll show you shortly, for sellers, this means that they win more opportunities and shorten their sales cycles. SMS helps sales managers become excellent coaches, and sales executives are better enabled to drive their sales operation. Ultimately, this translates to the real strategic value of the Adventace Sales Management System, which is increased revenues and a reduced cost of sales. Let's focus now on how SMS helps sales executives. SMS provides a dashboard of key predictive metrics that accurately pinpoint where performance bottlenecks are today that, if left uncorrected, will impact tomorrow's results. They can easily identify where these problems are anywhere in their organization and then work with their sales management team to take proactive corrective actions. Sales executives select the Performance Metrics tab and then start analyzing information pertinent to their level of the sales organization. From there, they simply select the role or user whose metrics they wish to analyze, and in so doing, they can drill down to any level of the organization, right down to the individual seller's level. And that allows them to identify where specific issues exist and then work with their managers to put the appropriate proactive actions in place. Let's now focus on how SMS helps sales managers. SMS makes pipeline balance and pipeline management become easy, accurate, and effective. Also, sales managers are able to analyze the same predictive metrics used by executives, but specifically for their level of the organization. SMS also provides a complete, easy-to-use skill development system, along with the means to consistently assess opportunities early in the sales cycle and then identify and rectify gaps. In our video, we'll focus on pipeline balance and skill development. First, pipeline balance and management. Sales managers select the Pipelines tab, and then the sales manager selects the seller whose pipeline they wish to analyze. By providing input on just a few parameters related to the individual, and normally that's only done one time per year, Adventace SMS then does the rest. It calculates the seller's pipeline balance algorithm, which is designed to help sellers balance their pipelines 24/7, 365. It looks at goal versus actual, calculates the gap, and then determines what the seller needs to do the next month to restore pipeline balance. SMS then goes on to do a detailed analysis by stage and determines the ideal pipeline, the actual, determines the gap, and then returns a color-coded funnel to the manager, where, in fact, green indicates that a seller is at or above 100% for a stage, yellow indicates they're between 75 and 100%, and red indicates that they are below 75%. This helps the manager provide that seller with surgical monthly goals and guidance. And when it comes to skill development, we don't think SMS could have made it easier. It provides complete skill development systems for sellers, sales managers, and channel managers. Here's an example of how a sales manager can easily put in place a metric-based skill development plan for a seller. The manager begins their analysis by selecting the Skill Development tab, and then selecting the seller whose skills they wish to develop. Notice that the manager is provided with a list of skills that they would want a seller to master. By going into edit mode, the manager is able to grade the seller in each skill. 1 is low and 3 is high. As the manager is grading the seller, if they get stuck and are wondering how to grade a seller, they simply select the skill and capability assessment criteria are provided for them. Once all the grades are in, the manager selects the skill that they wish to develop the seller in this case, sales call qualification. So the manager simply selects Create Personal Development Plan, and SMS does the rest by creating that plan. The plan itself provides the manager with the current capability level of the seller, the goal he or she wishes to achieve, the metric to track against, and then the details of the plan. We've seen sellers go from a level of 1 to 3 in a matter of a quarter only. Now let's take a look at how SMS helps sellers. I think it's fair to say that salespeople have typically viewed CRM with some level of animosity, but no longer. The sales enablement functions that SMS provides were designed to deliver real competitive advantage to salespeople. By helping sellers generate key custom buyer deliverables in only a couple of minutes, precisely when they're needed, sellers are able to better manage, control, and reduce the length of sales cycles. Recent studies have shown that salespeople engaged in B2B selling must now sell to buying committees with an average of 5.8 buyers. They also show that in today's world of rising buyer expectations, a whopping 74% of buying committees choose the sales rep who was first to add value and insight. Well, SMS generates a key tool called an impact tree, which is designed to provide that insight. We commonly hear back from salespeople whose buyers say, "You understand our business better than we do." Further, new research on sales enablement from over 400 companies in the B2B market show that there's a massive gap between its importance, deemed critically high, and its effectiveness, which was found to be critically low. So in the final component that we'll demo, we'll show you how SMS delivers the right content in the right format at the right time. So let's say that I just made a successful call on an engineering executive from a manufacturing firm. Now I want to get an email, which we call a letter of understanding, back to the buyer to help me solidify myself in first place. And that letter will summarize the buyer's needs along with the agreed upon set of next steps leading to a buy decision. So, from the Opportunities tab, I'll first enter relevant opportunity information, and then I'll go on to a critical related list called Impacted Buyer. So let's take a look at my impacted buyer. That buyer came from the manufacturing industry. His or her functional role is that of an engineering executive whose critical business issue is delayed production of new products. I'll fill in his or her contact information, in this case, John Anderson. And by indicating that the sales call has been completed, you'll notice that some very interesting information has also been recorded in the opportunity record. There's our expected information, but we also have a need development record that has been generated. Essentially, based on this company's understanding of the causes and capabilities behind why an engineering executive would have delayed production of new products, the need development section of the record has been completed for the buyer. Now I go on to pick a sequence of events, which we call an action plan, that would lead to a buy decision. And there's our action plan. This, by the way, is targeting a very large multi-million-dollar engagement. And you'll notice now that all the information that we need to send our letter has been completed. So I want to send it to that engineering director. We have an interface built with Conga Composer to help us generate these letters of understanding. We've created a series of templates that follow the course of the sales cycle. In this case, I picked the Power Promoter because that's the relevant one. We merge the information. the letter gets generated, well, before I send it, I think I want to analyze it to make sure that if there's anything I want to modify, I will be able to do that. So far, so good. I think I'm happy with everything. I hit send, and off that letter goes. So now let's take a look at our finished product. The first page summarizes the buyer's needs, while the second page provides the agreed upon sequence of events, also known as an action plan. This letter of understanding is critical because it helps sellers define, manage, qualify, and control their sales cycles while differentiating themselves from the competition. In the past, these letters would normally take a salesperson anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, usually in a one-off type situation, to complete, and therefore the seller typically did not ever send the letter. However, as you just saw with SMS, that letter only takes a matter of about 2 to 4 minutes to generate, and it differentiates the seller. Therefore, they win more. So now let's take a look at the impact tree, which is that key tool to help sellers win complex B2B committee sales. Here, in fact, is an opportunity where I've already called on 5 buyers, and the impact tree shows the interdependence between them. I just called on a 6th buyer whom I now want to add into the impact tree before sending it to the committee. So now, when we go back to the opportunity detail record, you'll notice that here are the 5 buyers I've previously called on. And now we'll take a look at the impact tree that was generated. Now I want to move that impact tree up to make room for the 6th buyer. I drag in the node of the new buyer. Link the interdependence, and now I'll enter that buyer's job title. It happens to be an engineering manager whose problem is that they create too many physical prototypes, which is both a time and cost expense. I'm happy with the way it looks, so I'll save the new impact tree. And then I will return to the opportunity where you'll notice that the engineering manager has been added. And now all I need to do is add in that buyer's contact information along with their job title, and then I'm able to send the updated impact tree off to my buyer. So, in summary, Adventace SMS is a complete sales management system, allowing executives to better drive their operation top-down. It allows their managers to better manage and balance pipelines, assess opportunities, and develop seller skills. And finally, it provides sellers with real competitive advantage through rapid generation of key buyer deliverables. And this is how the Adventace Sales Management System increases revenues while reducing the cost of sales. Thank you for watching our video. We hope you found it to be very beneficial.